In this session, we will be discussing about Prime Minister of India. The Prime Minister of India is the head of the executive branch of Government of India. His position is distinct from that of the President of India. Then what's the role of Prime Minister in Parliament system? Prime Minister is the leader of executive of Government of India and he is the chief advisor to the President of India and head of the Union Council of Ministers. President is the nominal executive authority. At the same time, Prime Minister is the real executive authority. Here, President is the nominal executive. That means President of India heads the executive branch but does not have the power to execute major and important decisions. Prime Minister is a real executive because Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers have support of the majority of the Lok Sabha and they are the real executive. Prime Minister can be the member of any of two houses of Parliament, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Prime Minister, senior most member of Cabinet in executive government. Union Cabinet is headed by Prime Minister of India. The origin and history of the position of Prime Minister. Since 1947, there have been 14 different Prime Ministers. First, few decades after 1947, Indian National Congress or INC had the almost domination over political map of India. In Constitution, there is no procedure for selection and appointment of Prime Minister. Article 75, Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President of India. The conventional structure, President of India has to appoint the leader of majority party in Lok Sabha as the Prime Minister. Then Prime Minister appointment procedures. The Prime Minister is appointed by the President of India in accordance with Article 75(1). The position of Prime Minister is normally chosen from the political parties that commands the majority of seats, that is Lok Sabha. When no party has a clear majority in Lok Sabha, President usually appoints leaders of the largest party or coalition in Lok Sabha as Prime Minister. The salary and allowances of Prime Minister are determined by the Parliament from time to time. Then let's look into the powers and functions of Prime Minister of India. The powers and functions of Prime Minister of India can be divided into three divisions: in relation to Council of Ministers, in relation to President, in relation to Parliament. In relation to Council of Ministers, the main functions of Prime Minister of India is distribute into recommends person who can be appointed as the ministers by the President, reshuffling the ministers in different departments, and the Prime Minister can re-allot the ministers in different sectors. Then advisory powers to ministers, decides all meetings, direction and controlling powers among the Council of Ministers. In relation to the President, how the Prime Minister functions his duties. The Prime Minister is a channel between President of India and ministers, administration, proposals, legislation and other matters relating Council of Ministers. And he also do the duty of advise the President of India with regards to appointment of important officials like AG, CAG, Chairman and members of UPSC, Election Commissioners, Chairman and members of Finance Commission and so on. And the last functions of Prime Minister of India that is related to the relation to Parliament. In this section, we can read the Prime Minister as the leader of lower house, the advice of the President, summoning and proroguing sections of Parliament, recommend dissolution of the Lok Sabha, and announces government policies and floor of the House. Then let's look into the important position the Prime Minister of India enjoys, that is, he is the head of almost all key authorities, that is, Niti Aayog, National Integration Council, National Ganga River Basin Authority, National Development Council, Department of Science, National Commission for Population Control, Department of Atomic Energy, Nuclear Command Authority, Indian Board of Wildlife, National Disaster Management Authority, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, Council on Climate Change, Interstate Council, Appointment Committee to the Cabinet, Cabinet Secretariat, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs, Ministry of Personnel and Public Grievances. These are the main important positions the Prime Minister of India as a head. At the same time, he is a spokesman of the union government and crisis manager in the country. Thank you for listening to this session.